Alamo colleges and then transfer to UTSA to complete their 4-year degree. This morning, you will be hearing from our board chair, Mr. Roberto Zárate, our chancellor, Dr. Mike Flores, UTSA President Taylor Amy, and a Promise to Promise student, Nia Houston. Thanks again for everyone being here. Now to kick things off and tell you more, I would like to welcome Mr. Robert Zárate, Alamo College's district chair, to say a few words. Mr. Zárate.
Good morning. I want to let you get real loud here. You know, we're going to keep it down a little bit until we really make the announcement. But my script says I'm supposed to say it's a glorious morning, and it is. And let me tell you why. I don't have to listen to political commercials again. I almost wore out my mute button on my TV set, you know, because of that. But no, today's a great, great time and a great place. Our board is an incredible, incredible team. Years ago, we made a decision to put student success as our featured policy in our service to this community. And there are a lot of initiatives that came from that. And so today, this is one of those iterations that came out of that particular policy. And I want to tell you that we've had very important people on board. One, of course, is Dr. Flores, who's here and will speak to you later. But President Taylor Amy, it's great to have you as a partner. And I'm really excited about what's going on in terms of our ability to have our students move through the academic process and become contributing members of our society. Partnership. One of the things that we have really strived to work on very hard is to develop those partners that would complement that student success policy. And UTSA is obviously a very synergist part of that. One of the other things that has happened, and I think will help this program, is our transfer advising guides, where we have really put together a pathway or pathways that students coming from the Alamo colleges can really succeed at UTSA and accept what they have in terms of their offerings. So today we have that partnership. It's exciting. As by the way, President Amy is exciting as the Roadrunners. They're a great team, but we are going to be a great team. And I think as we move forward, this process will get stronger and stronger, and our students will benefit more and more from this. So without any further words out of this little thing, let me introduce to you our incredible chancellor. Oh, no, hold on a minute. I said something about our board, and some of them are here. And if I don't introduce them, they're going to get me. Let's start out with Joe Alderete Jr. Incredible advocate. Dr. Gene Sprague, who has served a lot of years. And Mr. Leslie Sakanowicz, who is new to the board, but is already brought a lot to the plate. Thank you, Leslie. And now, I'm getting back on script, Dr. Mike Flores, our chancellor.
All right, good morning. Okay. This is definitely, it is a glorious morning, as Chairman Zárate mentioned, because of what we are about to just accelerate, right, in a sense. What we're about to do is really significant, and I think maybe if we just take a moment to reflect on that and think about not only the numbers of students, but actually the individual student stories, and you're going to hear about that soon. So I want to really thank the team at the top, right? I want to thank our Board of Trustees, Chairman Zárate, Mr. Alderete, Dr. Sprague, Mr. Sahanovich for their work, because it's critical for us being able to do what we do, to partner with individuals like President Amy and Provost Espy and their teams, our colleagues, to be able to make this come together. And so in particular, what we are doing is enhancing something that we talked about in 2018. I want to thank President Amy for serving on the steering committee for Alamo Promise. And in 2018, we looked at 2 different communities. We looked at Dallas and what they were doing, and then visited the state of Tennessee. And the hope at that time was that we would be able not only to have Alamo Promise in Bexar County, but that also we would be able to fortify our partnerships to have direct promise-to-promise connections with universities as part of our transfer compact. And so it's finally here. Here it is. And if we look at Alamo Promise particular, it's our 4th year. We're serving 11 school district partners, nearly 50 high schools. We are targeting 13,000 students, and we have an anticipated enrollment of close to 4,000 of those students. Last year, we graduated our inaugural cohort of several thousand students that crossed each and every stage to be able to go oftentimes to UT San Antonio, but to continue their educational journey. And I think what's critical about Alamo Promise is understanding the community that we serve. We have a saying at Alamo, and it's begin with the end in mind. But I think what we have done in particular is we've begun with the community in mind. And that's what Alamo Promise and this morning is all about. And think about what our prospective and current students often do is they have conversations about, can I afford to go to school? And it's not only about, can I afford to go to the Alamo colleges? What they do is they consider whether they can afford to work less hours, whether they can afford to give more money to the household budget. And what Promise has done is alleviated that consideration to be able to ensure that students can go to school debt-free. So UTSA and Alamo colleges have been longstanding partners, and this Promise to Promise program that we're announcing is just one of 3 different components. The first one is actually a dual admissions agreement. So imagine that a student can come to any one of our 5 colleges. Could be St. Philip's College, Dr. Lawson. Could be San Antonio College. It could be Palo Alto or Northwest Vista or Northeast Lakeview. It's them being able to ensure that they begin with us. They know that the courses they take, thanks to the work of our board and my team, started long ago, that each credit counts and is transferable and is degree applicable. All of that counts. So dual admissions. But what about if that starts in high school? Imagine that it begins in high school, continues through our 5 colleges, and goes on to UTSA. Or if it alleviates the cost of education with Promise to Promise. So those 3 things, high school to college to university, dual admissions, and Promise to Promise. Those 3, each one in and of itself, I think is big. All 3 together are just awesome. So how many students, and you're going to hear from Nia soon, how many students do we send each and every year on to university? We send close to 18,000 students annually of our 60,000 plus students that are enrolled with us. Let's think about that. 18,000 students each and every year cross the stage from St. Philip's College, go on to university, oftentimes to UTSA. And then we save them money. We save them money annually by starting with us, by ensuring that they're also debt-free. So in 2020, of our close to 3,700 students that actually started with us and then transferred to UTSA, we approximate that to be a savings of over $150 million by starting at our 5 Alamo colleges. So what we're seeking to do is to create a seamless transfer opportunity, and it allows our students to be successful, and it allows them to ensure that they don't have to have those conversations at the dinner table, They don't have to figure out not only how to make ends meet, but how to be able to pay for tuition. And so it is a glorious morning, as mentioned earlier. This is a great day for us to be together. And I couldn't think of a better partner than UT San Antonio. Dr. Amy, Dr. Espy, thank you for being here. I want to ask, before I turn it over to Dr. Amy, for my colleagues from the Alamo Colleges District to please stand so we can acknowledge them for all of their work. If you all, Dr. Raley, Dr. Lawson, you all don't be shy. Dr. Cleary. Well, there's actually more there, so it's everybody. So all of our Alamo College colleagues, come on, y'all, please stand. All right, so now I would like to introduce a wonderful partner and friend, Dr. Taylor Amy, UTSA President.
You know, Mike and I didn't script this, but and all my colleagues know that I don't follow instructions very well, and you can hear from the laughter that there's truth to that. Alamo Colleges District is probably our most significant partner in the higher education realm. Mike and all of ACD believe implicitly what I'm about to describe as much as we do at UTSA. We're all born with the same potential and not given the same opportunities. And the greatest equalizer is to get a 2- and a 4-year degree. An education, higher education degree is essential in affecting one's trajectory in life. And we both, as institutions, we both believe deeply in the purpose of that. And so it's an obvious thing that we collaborate significantly. And Mike described the 3 areas of focus. The Transfer Compact effort really allowed our team to come together to work very closely with ACD around the 3 components, the dual enrollment and dual admissions program, the Promise to Promise program, the most recent aspect of our collaboration, and obviously this high school to 2-year to 4-year program. So these 3 elements were really, really foundational to where we were going as an institution. And I had planned, without having chatted with Mike about this, that I wanted to ask my UTSA colleagues and Dr. Raley and his team, the colleagues from ACD, to stand up. So I'm going to do it a little bit differently. UTSA and ACD folks, if you worked in this realm at all together, would you please stand to be recognized? That includes ACD. Come on, let's go. Very good. Thank you. I know that an immense amount, you know, these things don't happen with the waving of a magic wand. It takes an immense amount of preparation and coordination and communication and trust to build these programs, to bring things together. So I'm really proud of the fact that our two teams work so closely to realize this, because it's impacting lives every day. It's saving the cost of education to individuals every day. It's affecting families every day. It's affecting trajectories of individuals every day. It's really, really essential. We're going to keep doing this. We're going to keep going forward. So Mike, thank you. It's a pleasure to work with you. Mike and I are old souls, and we believe in all of this, and we get to see each other quite a bit, but today is a day to celebrate, and so I'm delighted to be here as your guest. My team is delighted to be here as your guest, so thanks for this opportunity. As Dr. Flores mentioned, ACD and UTSA share a vision of commitment to preparing our students for the workforce, building an even stronger talent pipeline for San Antonio. Promise to Promise affirms our commitment, granting more students access to higher education to open new doors of opportunity. Roughly 50%, or about 1,500 of UTSA's incoming transfer students matriculate from ACD each fall. And on average, the first-year retention rate of these students is 85%, much higher compared to transfers from other institutions. So ACD is doing something right. UTSA is doing something right in this space. Promise to Promise allows UTSA to maximize even more opportunities for transfer students through our Bold Promise program, which has already served 2,300 students to date. Earlier this year, you may have seen, UT System provided even more funding for our Promise Plus program, which was tacked on to our Bold Promise program, which enables us to expand a program that, when we had launched in 2019, was available to students that came from families with incomes less than about $50,000, with fundamental support from UT System to grow our Bold Promise program by the addition of their dollars. We've been able to increase that threshold to families with incomes less than $70,000 being applicable for our Bold Promise program. And as a result of that recent infusion this year, UTSA's gift aid increased 10%, and Bold Promise students will receive an average gift of over $14,000. And like ACD component institutions, the generosity of Mackenzie Scott and the $40 million unrestricted gift that she gave us, which we turned around in 7 seconds and invested with UTIMCO up in Austin, the University of Texas Investment Management Company. The annual investment payout from that investment is actually put, along with the Promise Plus program from UT System, is put together with the resources that we provide as an institution to support our Bold Promise program. So these kinds of things are additive in nature. Everybody believes in this, and actually Mike and I are talking to other philanthropic supporters that want to support the Promise program, the Alamo Promise program at ACD, and our Bold Promise program. So it's additive, and it builds momentum. So today's announcement should get a lot of attention from our friends in the philanthropic community. As you know, these gifts provide our students with invaluable opportunities in leadership development and experiential learning programs inside and outside our classrooms. You're going to hear from Nia Houston in a second, and that will be exemplary of everything that we do at ACD and UTSA to provide young people with a trajectory that is deeply, deeply impactful. So we're grateful for our generous supporters and for the collaborative partnerships we have with ACD that enable us to remain focused on what matters most: our students. Everything we do for our students to transform their lives and the lives of their families. My hope is that we continue working together and building upon Promise to Promise to keep serving more students that will go out into the world and change it and make great things happen. So it's with my great pleasure and honor to introduce our next speaker, Nia Houston. Nia was born and raised in San Antonio and graduated from Wagner High School and Judson ISD. She transferred from San Antonio College to UTSA last fall, and she's majoring in business marketing. And Nia was just on this podcast that Chancellor Flores does. I was a guest again with him on that, and we had a chance to catch up with Nia. And it's really important to know that there's one person in Nia's life that has been deeply, deeply impactful to her and her trajectory. I'd like to ask her mom, Yvette, to stand and be recognized. Yvette. Yvette, you are a proud, proud mother, and your role in your family and in the trajectories of your 3 children and your impact on Nia is profound, and it's folks like you, mothers like you, that make a huge difference in the world. So we are as proud of you as we are of Nia. So thank you, Yvette, for all that you do. So it's really important today to not hear from Mike or me. It's to hear from Nia. So Nia, I'd like to invite you up. She's going to share her perspective about Promise to Promise, and her story is incredible. I'm predicting that Nia someday is going to be the president of HEB, and she's going to tell you that story. So Nia?
Hello, I'm Nia Houston, a business marketing major at UTSA. I graduated from Wagner High School in 2020 and saved my seat to be an Alamo Promise Scholar. Then I graduated from San Antonio College in 2021 with an associate's degree. When I first transferred to UTSA, I thought I was going to have to work full-time at HEB and still take out student loans. As a first-generation college student, I knew that I would have to make sacrifices. That's the work ethic my mom instilled in my younger brothers and me. That hard work pays off. My mom, Nana Butler, is here to celebrate with me today. Mom, please stand up. Mom, I want to take this time out to thank you for everything that you've done for me, Rashad, and Mikey. I really appreciate it. I know it was hard, and we'll make sure that we're all successful, for sure. One day, Belinda Harmon called me from UTSA. I would never forget her name because she told me I qualified for this new tuition-free program at UTSA for students who transferred from the Alamo Promise program. I thought it was too good to be true. In fact, I hung up on her because I thought it was a scam call. But Belinda called me back and she helped me with the necessary paperwork. She made the transition so easy. And now, as part of the UTSA Bold Promise program, all I have to do is focus on my schoolwork. I'm doing really well in my classes and I hope to graduate this summer. And when I cross the commitment stage, I'm going to graduate without any debt. It's crazy I get to graduate college with zero debt. The generation before me didn't get to do that. I hit the jackpot twice, at Alamo Colleges and at UTSA. When I graduate, I'll have the education I need to continue my career at HEB and become a leader within the company. To all high school students looking at colleges now, I encourage you to consider the path I chose because it has set me up for success. If you're an Alamo College student, consider taking advantage of the Promise to Promise program. It's literally changed my life. Thank you.
Wasn't that awesome? Yes. That's why we do this work. Thank you, Ms. Houston. You made my day. I'd like to thank everybody for joining us here today, for all of our partners who made this possible. Thank you. We invite you to stay for some refreshments and goodies. Thank you again, and have an awesome day.